Hey, how you doing everybody? Welcome back to Big Frogs 4x4. I was asked by a viewer if I would show things that you should go over whenever you change your oil. So while you're changing your oil, some things to look at would be conditioning your skid plates if you use your truck off-road. It's always a good idea to see if any damage has been done, how close you've ever come to the oil pan. When I had this up to Roush Creek one time, I smashed the skid plate up against the oil pan and actually put a scuff mark on the drain plug. So that's one thing you want to make sure you watch, because these aluminum skid plates aren't very strong. You want to come over and you want to just check your bump stops, make sure they're still intact, make sure none of your shocks are leaking. You want to come over while you're under here and check out the condition of your rotors, condition of your brake pads, make sure they're thick enough. In the state of Pennsylvania, you have to have a minimum of 2 seconds for your brake pads. You also want to look for any kind of debris from off-roading that could be up there stuck, branches, sticks, whatever. Mud can be packed in places. Make sure nothing's putting extra pressure or tension on your ABS lines, anything on the suspension, any hoses or wires. You want to check the condition of your tires, check the tread depth, spin your tires around, make sure there's nothing in your tire anywhere. You have no nails or screws. Even if you're not getting the flat yet, if you have a nail that's in the tread and as you're driving, that nail could slowly work its way as the tread goes down into the tire and cause you to have a leak. So if you see anything in the tread, get it pulled out, check it for leaks with soapy water. You want to come to your front drive shaft. Grab a hold of it, push it, twist it, turn it, and just see if it's loose anywhere. Make sure nothing worked loose. You know, follow that back, just your transmission oil pan, and check your exhaust, because there's no skid plating if you're off-roading for your exhaust. Check the condition of your cross member and your transmission mount. On the 2.8 Duramax, you have the fuel filter housings. Once again, very little skid plating for those as well, so when you're off-roading, if you catch this little plastic drain plug right here, hopefully it doesn't break it off and make it leak. If it breaks off, you can drain and just change your filters just by taking your filters out. But this is supposed to be like your water separator plug, where you take that out and drain that first and then change your filters. But just keep an eye on all of that. Also, your gas tank, no skid plating on the gas tank, all the way back. So keep an eye on that. See if you hit it with any rocks anywhere. You want to grab a hold of your rear drive shaft. And once again, you want to grab a hold of your rear drive shaft with no weight on the rear wheels, or have it in neutral if it's sitting on the ground. Move it back and forth. Check your joints in here for any kind of play, back and forth, up at the front and down here at the back. Again, look for any debris that could be stuck, branches or whatever, could be stuck in your e-brake cables, anything that's in your leaf springs. Check for any kind of cracked leaf springs or anything that could be stuck between your springs, any kind of rocks, stones, pebbles. A newer vehicle, there's no reason you should have a cracked leaf spring, but always check this, because as the mileage goes up in the vehicle, if you tow or use a lot of off-road where they're twisting up and down, you could get a leaf spring that cracks. If you go any kind of muddy, sandy area, look how your U-bolt lower mounts fill up with dirt and sand. Over time, that will start rusting away at these U-bolts. While you're at the back of the truck, you want to check out your rotors and your rear pad thickness. It's best, if you're not sure, take your wheel off and look how thick your pads are. If you're off-roading, you want to check the condition of your rear pumpkin, your rear differential. See if there's any rocks that scraped anywhere all the way back. Make sure no rocks or anything have caught and bent your rear diff cover. Make sure nothing's dented or cracked or leaking. Also, you want to check the condition of your rear shocks. They should not be wet at all on here. Especially should not have any oil running down the shock. A little dampness can be fine on most standard shocks, but if it's soaking wet and there's visible oil running, the shock needs to be replaced. There has been reports, and I've had them replaced as well, of the DSSV shocks leaking from where this threads in, up in here. So while you're underneath the truck, keep an eye on these. These will be covered under warranty if you're still in a warranty period. Then you come back to where your DEF tank is, and once again, make sure no rocks or anything have hit your DEF tank. Check the condition of all your leaf springs, your wiring at the back. And on diesels, this exhaust hangs down really low. So keep an eye on that and make sure that didn't scrape, get pinched off anywhere. There's another thing you want to watch out for. Any of your cross members that go across your frame, like this round tubing one here, they too will fill up with mud, which then will rust out. So make sure when you're washing your truck, just be spraying water down through there and get all that mud out. You also want to spray water inside the holes in the frame because you're going to have mud laid down inside your frame in here, and that's going to rot your frame out from the inside out. I'm going to check the condition of your e-brake cable. It comes all the way back. It's not a bad idea to keep them lubricated, keep them oiled up. Some of the other things you want to check when you're changing your oil is make sure your washer fluid reservoir is full. I highly recommend Rain-X or equivalent washer fluid. You also want to make sure both of your battery terminals are tight and clean. Your brake fluid reservoir is full. Check your engine oil when you're done changing the oil. Make sure the level is proper. A couple of Phillips screws. You want to take the cover off the top of your engine air filter and make sure it's clean. And also check your antifreeze level and make sure it is up to the line indicated. Thanks for watching Big Frogs 4x4, and as always, subscribe. God bless.